Hello, this here is the All Around Natural Beauty. And the one moment while we get ready, we're about to go live here. So give me a moment while I set the whole thing up here. See where my thing at over here. Yeah, y'all see the thumbnail here. We're gonna talk about this. We're about to discuss all this here information here for these women to stop making excuses for these men. We see how it is leading to all kind of problems because we are making excuses for these men. They have been allowed to continue on in these horrific bursts of anger and violence, and we got mamas and grandmas and sisters covering it up and actually, witnessing women getting abused, women and children getting abused, and nobody's saying anything about it. So that's why I'm ultra grateful that, Darrell Brooks have, took the time to do such a crazy thing like this so we all can see and we can recognize these traits so we can learn how to avoid people like that. All right. So you don't get mixed up with the wrong people. So I'm just excited because it seems like this here is affecting a lot of people that have may know somebody or this has happened to them, and you really couldn't put your finger on like what is the process of how to get out of this type of situation, or how do you keep attracting people like a Darrell Brooks into your life, or people that continue to be off in this circle or something like that. Or maybe you have a lady like that, or a mother like that, somebody in your neighborhood, somebody like that. So I'm just excited to be here and talking about the story and telling and all this stuff so we can shine light on it, because like I said before, we victims have been suffering in silence. So no more moments of silence. From henceforward, we just having moments of speaking the names of victims, speaking the names of abusers so people can identify them. No more will you be allowed to abuse people. We keeping your secrets. No more keeping secrets. Victims, we're going to unite. We're going to stand up and we're going to call out these abusers by name. We're going to put them on blast. We're going to let everybody know that your kids aren't safe with Mr. So-and-so down the block because he molests children. People need to be aware of that. Oh yeah, my uncle, you don't leave your kids around him because he molests children. You have a father, you have a brother that is sitting around there molesting children and abusing people. We need to speak up. All right, we got some stuff up in here. All right, thank you, Nader. Nader says yes. All right. Also, no more secrets. We deserve to have a voice. So no more secrets. This here is going to be a voice where we can empower ourselves to stop holding these secrets, because as long as we're holding the secrets, we're not going to be able to heal and grow and enjoy our best lives, because we're going to always be having shame and doubt and all kind of other ugly energy holding on the secret. You holding this dirt. You're holding slug and snick and just filth, all that stuff. Let it go. You can't change the fact if you were a victim, but you can move forward to become a survivor, right? Because we can't go back in past and change that you were a victim. So if you've been a victim, just be grateful that you are still here today, and moving forward, you will be a survivor by telling your testimony and making sure that you are loving yourself, healing yourself, so that you will not ever allow someone else to abuse you. So I wanted to get that a little bit off of my chest now, because this also is a new voice for me, because I've been a victim, my whole life, and just now really coming into the strength in being a survivor, just changing that whole concept of being a victim from now changing it to a survivor. It empowers you. So it changes your position, because if you're claiming and holding on to being a victim, then you feeling sorry for yourself, you in fear, all these kind of things. Being a survivor is more coming from a more power position. And that is my hope, that we as victims can learn how to grab hold to that and grow, get moving forward from that. All right, so that's my little soapbox for the moment there. So like I said, no more moments of silence. And to kind of initiate that, I'm going to do something different that I hadn't planned on here. This is just a spur of the moment. What I'm going to do is I'm going to open up a browser like I had been saying before. The reason I'm coming from this whole perspective is because I just feel like I'm just recently waking up to the fact of how much violence, this new term femicide and all of that stuff. These are, new terms for me. And I'm just seeing how true and accurate it is. Like, it's so much. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the new a new browser page. And I'm pretty positive that I'm going to scroll down there and I'm going to be able to pick out at least 1 to 3 incidents of some type of violence or something towards women. And then let me just give a disclaimer here too. I'm not about saying that all women are good and all women are the victims, because we've proved before that some women have this evil spirit on them and they are abusers. So that's why I'm really highlighting Darrell Brooks' grandmother and mother to show how, these monsters didn't just pop up one day and then boom, hey, I'm a monster. It started off when they were kids, when they were, doing things and somebody made an excuse for them, which we as women often do because we have been conditioned in this society to, really coddle more the boys and really, I guess, value the boys more. Value the males we've been conditioned to value the males more. That's just simple as it is. And not just here in America. It actually is not as bad here in America as it is in a lot of other countries where it's blatant. Like you see that over in China and India and those kind of places like that, where, baby girls really, don't have a lot of value, and the women either. So, women are just now trying to get a voice. And I don't want to go down that road. But what I wanted to say was that I'm happy that we have these opportunities so we can show it, because otherwise in the past, when we victims have come out, we survivors, I need to make sure I change my words too. We survivors have come out in the past, the abusers will do smear campaigns and they get their flying monkeys to be able to thank you, Sid. You're preaching now. That's right. It's all about that too. I'm getting really fired up here about this whole situation, so we can shine the light, because like I said, these abusers in the past, they do the whole gaslighting, and they do the smear campaign. They do all these narcissistic moves on you, and they get people to believe that there's something wrong with you. So it decreases survivors from being able to tell their stories and get help, because everybody's looking at you like, and then when people support the abusers, it really devalues the I'm just going to have to say victim, because before you can be a survivor, you have to, be a victim. So it devalues the victim so much to where they don't even feel like they should report anything, because it's all my fault, right? So they work so hard to convince you that it's your fault, that most of the victims actually believe that. And I believe that's the reason why a victim will return back to the abuser up to 7 times before they finally, get the strength and a good plan to be able to get out of there, to get out of that relationship and stay gone, stay safe and stuff like that. So how many, busted lips and broken noses and black eyes do you need to get before, you leave and stay gone? I'm saying that the first sign of any type of physical something, somebody grabs your arm or blocks you from trying to leave, these are forms of abuse, right? If they physically stopping you from going somewhere, these are little triggers, tests to see how much you're gonna, how much they can go with you. Because before you get punched in the mouth, best believe that they have, laid out little tests to see how much of this abuse you're willing to, accept. And that's why it gets worse when you've been with the abuser for an extended period of time. So that's why it's important to see these yellow flags so you don't have to get the red flags, and then, it'd be too late. So thank y'all for listening to me while I hop on this here subject here. So I'm excited about red flags. Narrative throwing up a red flag. That is correct. Red flags are, they could really be, I'm trying to choose my words right, because I know I'm not supposed to say certain words, but by the time you see some red flags, it might be too late. You could already be, being sent to the upper room, and you won't even be able to tell anybody about the red flags because you're too late. So I'm just excited that people are starting to have more of a voice, and I want to thank all of my new subscribers. And if you haven't already, go ahead and like and subscribe, and keep the comments coming. And like I said, for our moments of speak, if you have somebody, a loved one, or somebody that is in a situation like that, or you want to have their name shouted out, so we can, the universe will hear our cries and our voices, not even just our cries. And when I'm saying cries, it's not coming from a weak position, but voices crying out with, please, let's get something done here. And we uniting and really coming together, because there is true strength in numbers, and we need that. And that's another way the abusers are able to continue to abuse, to continue the cycle of abuses, because of the silence. If you don't say anything about it, then everybody is thinking that it's just them. You don't realize that there is, we have connections, that you can actually connect with somebody and get some help. So that's why it's important to speak. Don't keep any secrets. Somebody telling you to keep a secret, no. We ain't keeping no more secrets. We calling it out. So, all right. So without further ado, we're gonna get down to it. So we're gonna pull up. I'm gonna play that the video testimony of Darrell Brooks's grandmother and mother and grandmother. But first, let me just go ahead and give a little quick recap. And I apologize for not starting off this way. But for those of you who don't know, Darrell Reeds is a man who had been in a domestic relationship for many years. He's been, in and out of just light jail time, where his family would bail him out whenever he would get physical with the mother of his her only son. I think she only had the one son with this Darrell Brooks person. And so they had been supporting him, and he flips out one day after he's been released from jail, after he physically punched up the baby mama ex-girlfriend and drove the same red Ford Escape and hit her with the car on November the 2nd, 2021. And we all know that on November the 21st, 2021, Darrell Brooks drove his car and drove over a crowd of parade goers, murdering 6 people and injuring dozens of others on November 21st, 2021, right? And his mother bailed him out of jail from the November 2nd incident, where he, physically battered up the baby mama, right, who he had been with for 17 years. So we know that wasn't the first time that he, did the fisticuff with her before, right? And so I'm just showing y'all the cycles, because I know we all know somebody who is going through something like this, and to show how that if we don't do something about it, because it's the silence that's what allowed this to continue to go unchecked, was because people were making excuses for him, like, which I said, being born over here, we have been taught, and I know I was groomed to say that the head of every the head of every woman is man, and the head of man is Christ, like it's in the scriptures and stuff. So we have been trained and taught since we were little girls to, wait on these men, to take care of them, and to do all of this stuff, right? And now we're starting to realize that these were just tricks, right, to keep us in this captivity, to keep us caged and in captivity, doing all this work, just being worker bees, for for somebody else. All right. So anyway, that's who the Darrell Brooks is. He was found guilty of that and sentenced to hundreds of years, multiple life sentences, and plus he injured, a lot of people. There was like 77 counts, and he was guilty of all those. He got, the 6 life sentences, and then all of the injuries. He got 17 and a half years for each of those. So it added up to like 1,200 years. It was a lot. He's pretty much there for yeah, this whole time. Like he's never leaving. And after all that, he chose to represent himself. So he wasted the taxpayers' money because it was him on video. It was so obvious that he was the one that did this, but he still chose to, because he's a narcissist, and to go through all these, courtroom shenanigans and waste all this time and to torture the victims by kind of like nyan in the faces of them and stuff like that. And then for his people to get up there and to, put on such a despicable act, it just shows that the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, and that this is the type of upbringing and the grooming that he received. And that's why we're at this position that we're at today, because we saw how, the grandmother was quick to lie. It didn't take her no time to, to come up with her lie and stuff like that. And then we also saw that there were no men to stand up or speak on his behalf. Just some old tired women that he had already, abused, obviously. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to share my screen with this here Darrell Brooks thing, and we going to break down this whole these traits and stuff like that, so y'all can see what to look for, and y'all can see what to look for and what we're looking at. All right, so I'm going to go here, and we're just going to share the screen. And all right, so here, this is the judge. I give her so much props too, because he was really just just like the narcs do. They really just keep poking at you to try to get you to explode. But they did a great job, and he did a good job too, wasting time. He did a great job. He's wasting some good time up there and throwing out his little points and all that good stuff. But it's a good educational reel here. So let's go ahead and play the tape.
Is this your mom? All right, so I can see Dawn Woods on the Zoom. Miss Woods, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am, I can hear you.
All right, thank you. I know you have your camera on. You're unmuted. There are 2 other individuals on the Zoom. They currently have their cameras off, I believe.
I'm just going to pause it. How does that sound, y'all? Somebody put a 1 in the chat if it sounds okay, the video, and then put a 2 if it doesn't.
They're both muted. I would just simply ask that we take one person in turn. You are on the Zoom. It is viewable in the courtroom. I want to acknowledge, ma'am, I did receive what I believe is a written statement that you faxed to the court.
Oh, okay. I never saw that.
And if that is...
There was,
I'm not sure,
that's the grandma's head in the back.
All right.
She gonna go next.
Ms.
Okay.
Edwards?
I never thought that.
All right, Ms. Edwards, if you could please, I'm going to have Ms. Woods talk first, and then I'll have you next. If you could keep your camera off and your microphone muted until it's your turn to talk. That way I can give my full attention to Ms. Woods.
Sure.
All right, that's grandma.
There we go. Very good. Thank you. All right. So once again, Ms. Woods, I believe you sent in a fax yesterday. Is that right?
No, I believe it was this morning.
Oh, this morning. All right. I have
Yes,
that,
ma'am.
and I've read it. Go ahead. What would you like to tell the court? And thank you for being with us today.
Yes, thank you. Good afternoon. I have two things I would like to tell. One is a written statement, Your Honor, and then I have a poem I would like to read after my statement, if that's permissible. Okay, thank you, thank you. Mental illness affects everyone.
Wow. Okay. So we already established that now she had all this time. We saying from the very first beginning that she is not interested in saying nothing about none of the victims, apologize for my son, or none of that stuff. She's going right ahead to her her little speech that she didn't put together. So just automatically showing you that look here, she ain't did nothing for nobody. She don't give a hoot about this stuff. She's just probably happy that he is going to be somewhere out of her hair because there's been some other talk about how she didn't want him at the house either. So he's probably been one of these worthless, useless males that just go around trying to bounce off female to female and get angry when somebody don't want them in their house, want him in the house. So she was probably like, here, go on over there. He's sick among other people. Go ahead, Grant. Mama.
It destroys lives, families, and hurts society. For far too long,
and again, that's the only reason I keep stopping is because do you see how this is so narcissistic? She's already setting it up to where she's blaming. This is, a society is affecting all these things, not anything pertaining to what he did. She's already setting up the excuse to blame. To blame. So here you go again.
Dirty little secret.
Dirty little secret, yeah.
That no one wants to talk about. Mental illness is the elephant in the room that so many pretend it's not there. People who suffer from it are often shunned by families and.
All right. So anyway, she's talking all this stuff about how it's bad for him and this mental illness pretty much setting up the stage to blame this on society, not taking any type of ownership because this came out of your womb, right? And if y'all knew this about him, what did you do? What kind of help did you do? You did all this research, now that you can compile your little complaint to blame this on society, but what did you do in the meantime? You wasn't doing anything to help out.
Rejected by society and made fun of, the subject of bad jokes.
I don't know if y'all can see Darrell in the background there.
And judged on
he's trying to look as innocent as possible.
Podcast, Facebook, and other media posts. Used in campaign ads. Disrespect.
What I want y'all to really pay attention to is her tone. Then when sometimes it's not even the words, you have to listen to the tone, how the person is saying it. Her tone is projecting like, and this is what he's had to been subjected to, people making fun of him, being ridiculed and all that stuff. She is building up all this big whole defense on how we should, it's our fault because we rejected him, we made fun of him, all these things. This is, we let him fall through the cracks, and this is our fault. Look what y'all did. Y'all created.
Stripped of their dignity. No one cares. No one sees.
I'm not gonna bore y'all with all of Mama's stuff. I'm gonna try to get to this.
In their cases, right, or many of their cases, treatment, therapy.
And this is her telling us what he needs. In the case, if somebody do something like this, they need treatment, right? Not prison. They need treatment, therapy, and what else, Mama? Medication.
Hospitals and institutions.
Specialized. Who
suffer
with helping people that suffer. Get my boy help. My boy needs help. My boy needs help, not prison.
Need to be offered. And I believe these places can help those who suffer become mentally well.
Wow. Did y'all hear that? These places will help those become mentally well, like she's talking like she's telling us off. She's coming from a place of how dare y'all think my Darrell needs to go to prison. He needs medication. He needs to be in a hospital. He's been ridiculed. He's been ridiculed his life and ignored and made fun of on podcasts, YouTube, and Facebook. Shame on society. They just dripping on there. And that's her 2 cents. All right, so now she's getting ready to do her poem.
Lawmakers.
Lawmakers. Well, I forgot about that part. Now she about to lawmaker. Now here we go. The lawmakers need to come up with something, because if they had, he wouldn't have did all that. He wouldn't have ran his car over there and killed all them people. And if the lawmakers had been on the job.
Society's holding to recognize mental illness. Mental illness cannot be eradicated with prison bars. Mental illness is going to always be there.
Well, then she just said that, he could be cured, right? And we already discovered that there's no cure. We didn't discover, but most people know. Anyway, I'll pull up the facts later. But there's no cure for mental illness. Could just be managed. So she's correct about that. But we already know that he's was mentally competent. Otherwise, he wouldn't have been able to represent himself. These are all tactics that these narcissists do to distract you, right? So you are trying to disprove something else, and then it'll just bring up another lie or something for you to get distracted at. And now it's like, like, look over here where they, poke you over there. So now I want to get right on down to the grandma's little situation, because mama here is kind of mild. And I'm just curious to know if grandma is actually her mother, or if that's Darrell's father's mother, this grandmother person, because they don't look too much alike. Like she doesn't look too much like grandma. I don't know. I don't know. What y'all think? All right, so we about to scoot on up here. I'm not sharing. Am I sharing my screen? No. Let me go back to the share. Forgive me. All right, so I was pointing out here that the mother doesn't look too much like grandma. So I'm curious to know if the grandma is his father's mother and not her mother, because they didn't seem to be like mother and daughter. I'll let y'all, what do y'all think? Or if anybody knows, go ahead and drop it in the chat. So let's go ahead. We're going to look for Granny. Because she went on. She had her little high point. Okay, well, she must have said something deep here. Let's see what she said.
And preventing this where we are today.
We're about to have an ad.
Offered sooner.
All right. So while that's going on, I'm just excited because I'm just grateful that y'all could see what's going on here, and we got it on this proof, so we can know to go back and view this stuff, so we can see that this ain't this is normal stuff that's not normal. These things are happening, so we can be able to identify and we can avoid it and stuff like that. It's like, if you recognize a mother like that or grandmother, that's definitely not somebody that you want to be in no type of relationship or nothing like that with, for real. So identifying these character traits, even in different family members and stuff like that, is ultra important too. So we're going to skip on here and find grandma's little story, because what is mama talking about? Oh, I had muted it.
Not just for my son, Darrell, but for all the people who...
My son, Darrell. Wow. And I'm just going through random clips of it, but we can see every time she talks, it's all, me, and my son, and all these different things, So let's see. Let's keep on moving along here. We'll get to grandma. Oh, grandma's not even on this clip. My bad, y'all. Look here. This ain't even going to show grandma is not part of it. This is all mama stuff. All right. So grandma really is the one I really want to show y'all. So excuse me for having the wrong video here. My grandson. Let me find that one. But I'm just excited, y'all, because we able to shed some light on this situation and, bring some hope and inspiration to we women. Like I said, by just becoming more aware of it, it's making me, just cautious to see how violent things are. And the other thing that I didn't do, I said I wanted to do, was I wanted to just go do a quick share the screen on the front page here so we can see about this here violence, what's going on with the violence and stuff like that, and how random it is and how it's all over the place. So let me see, I'm going to go here to my front page here and on the new tab, and let's just see what's going on in the whole world here. See what's going on. All right. Okay. Anthony Rumble Johnson's cause of death revealed. I don't know. Maybe that's something I'll look into later. I don't know about this person or heard about it. So I don't know. What if that was like he was in a match or something like that, like a fight? Because his UF something looks like some fighting stuff. All right. So let's keep on moving here. Let's see, what is this here? Oh, more stuff from Shanquilla. Good. This video shows Shanquilla Robinson excited to hang with friends. I'm so sad about that. I'm so grateful that we still talking about this and keeping this young woman in our vision and making her, keeping her relevant. Let's see here. All right, so more Shanquilla, that's good. So that's still showing the violence and stuff here. And let's see here. Woman pranks sister by printing in. Was a young girl adopted? But no, let me see. What's that? Takeoff's father. Okay. So there's more violence there. But this, let's see. Patron at LGBTQ club where man shot and killed 5 people says he hid. Let me see if that's going to click over there. In the dressing room after shots rang out. Wow. Okay, so there's more. Like I said, we just click on there and it's just so obvious. It's right there. But I definitely want to stop sharing that screen there. And I'm going to drop a link here if anybody has any thoughts or something that they want to talk about, get off of their chest, is something else that I would like for this platform to be about, talking about these things here like that. And in the meantime, while I'm doing that, I will go ahead and get that grandma video up that I promised y'all on the low here. So where is I'm sorry to be looking around here like that. My camera is actually in the blind spot here. Here we go. So I'm looking for Darrell's grandmama's speech. Darrell's grandmama's speech. And we can break that down, that body language. Here we go. Grandma's testimony.
I'm going to start talking about angel sense here. Not a day goes.
All righty. So I found it. Let me just skim through. Yeah, this is it. This here is the one. This is the one. All right. So what we're about to watch now is when Grandma. So they kind of went in order of the most severe because Grandma's going to come out straight knocking out the box, straight knocking out the gate with her obvious traits of what she's doing here. So let's see. Let's go ahead and find Grandma. No, before I do that, I want to do this here. I'm going to go ahead and drop it. So bring back out opinions about it. We here to hear them. A voice. Just for a voice. Just to keep a voice. Keep our voices heard. And let others know that, you're not alone. You are not alone. All right, so I am here with you. I am. And when that song was out, I wasn't even a fan of it. I didn't like the song. I don't even know why I'm singing it now. I was not a fan of that. Is that it? No. No, that is not it. That it? That's it? Hopefully this is it. All right, so this is going to have to be it because I hear somebody calling me, like my dogs. Am I sharing screen? I am sharing the screen. However, I would like to change my view to that. Take that off, put me there, and let's get going here. All right. Well, let's just look at his face first. You see him trying to look sad. Now, this is a whole different face from the face he was putting forth when he had on his suit and he was representing himself, right? So now he's already been found guilty. So he's got on the, jailhouse T-shirt here, and his true, animal energy is showing through. But he's now trying to do the little innocent boy face here because Mama just finished testifying, and now Grandma about to put the icing on the cake, and he already knowing Grandma and Mom been getting him off the, since he was little, and that now I'm about to get out. Go on, Granny, tell it for me.
And I should say for the record that Lucy Dawn Woods was the first speaker, and I have Mary Edwards. If you can let me know who's next to you, please.
Oh, there's no one next to me at the moment. Thank you.
See how Grandma did that? That's very clever. This is real narcissistic, right? So she changed it up and said, oh, there's no one here next to me at the moment. That way it's not like a real lie. See, I said at the moment, right? You have to listen to these word plays, right? So Grandma, 80 years old, immediately lie, come out the mouth, lie. Like there was no reason to lie about that. So whenever you just meeting somebody in the first words, the first something come out of their mouth is a lie, that's a clue right there. Because if people are just like, you can't even say, hello, my name is without a lie coming out, then that's your clue right there. Habitual liars, these liars like that. So we see here that Grandma immediately comes out with a lie and doesn't tell the truth until the judge, is like, hey, I just saw the person. Like, come clean. We already see the person.
Okay. Are we good to go?
I need to know who's in the room with you because I saw them.
That's my husband.
Who was that? Oh, that's my husband. But do you see how she tried to change the conversation, take control of the conversation? Okay, are we ready to go now? Because she's just trying to get her speech out and to overtalk the judge who had just asked her, who's in the room with you? So another way liars do, or these narcissists do, they'll change the subject. Okay, are we ready now? Totally forgetting that, or not forgetting, but totally disregarding that the judge asked you to say who was in the room with you. So she changes the subject, has no respect for the court because you just got caught in a lie. You just lied to the court for no reason. So your testimony, not even a testimony, but your statement, we already know to discount that. It's coming out from the mouth of a liar, right? Grandma liar, straight up lying. I'm 80. Lying heifer.
Okay, he's not in the room at the moment.
All right.
He's not here.
I just wanted to know I saw
problem with him being here.
See, again, changing the subject.
I know who it is. We'll
just. My husband is here.
Will he be
Get your ass out the room.
No.
This woman seeing you messing up my life.
Not speaking.
He's not speaking.
Ahead.
Look how she see that. Y'all see that side look she cut him. Get your ass up out of here. Did y'all see it?
Looking to the side, it's because that's where the monitor that I can see you is located. So go ahead.
Oh, am I not sharing the screen? I am so sorry, y'all. I need to go back. Y'all gotta see
Mary, Darlene
my
Edwards.
bad. I'm so
I
sorry.
am not.
Let me go back. Y'all got to see this side. Let me go back here.
The record, my name is.
That I can see you is located. So go ahead.
Thank you, Judge. For the record, my name is.
I missed it. I'm sorry.
Darlene Edwards. And
I can't find it.
The wicked grandmother of the.
All right. But did y'all hear the tone in her voice? She said, I am not. So that tells me that people have been calling her the wicked grandma. Like she's, because she's up here, obviously she's defending something that she's heard. She's letting you know that she's not this wicked grandma. She's letting you know who she is. And this here, look at this background. Y'all see this? What does this say about somebody? This is all narcissistic right here. Look here. Who has their whole name plastered across the back wall here? Y'all see that? Miss Mary, You know what I mean? Look at there. These are her little plaques and all that stuff, you know, all across there. Big here, big here. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me. So yeah, I wish I could find where that little side look. Let me tell you if I can go back a little further, because this here is a super big clue, right? She cuts this. There we go. Right there. Oh, let me go back a little bit more. A wee bit.
Oh, that's my husband.
Okay.
Okay, he's not in the room.
Look at, y'all see it? Look at that. See how she cut her eyes at him? Look at there. Cut them eyes right there. Get your ass up out of here.
At the moment.
No one here at the
He's
moment.
not here.
I just wanted to know I
Is
saw
the problem
someone.
with him being here?
Look at that smile. You see that? That's how narcs do. See that? Look at her expression, how it changed. Y'all see that? Did you see how her expression changed? She went to the smile all of a sudden. Like, that's how those narcs do when they taking those masks on and off. Y'all got to look at these facial expressions. You see that? How quickly it changed? Because she was cutting him an eye, like, you know, and then she smiled back at the judge. And those narcs are good for that. I'm so good. Go on, Grandma. Look at her. You can see it right there. Look at her face. Evil, nasty look that she's flashing to somebody. And then she's going to quickly turn right back to the judge with a smile.
It is. We'll just.
Oh, I guess it's my husband is here.
Yeah.
No, he's not speaking.
See,
All
she's
right,
trying to
go
pull.
ahead.
Look
Thank
at
you
her.
for being here
Wow.
today. And
She's
again,
trying to pull it
If I
together.
look like I'm looking to the side, it's because that's where the monitor that I can see you is located. So go ahead.
Thank you, Judge. For the record, my name is Dr. Mary Darlene.
And see her getting back into character, like she's, you know, agitated that he didn't slowed up everything. And we got this woman and senior, you doing the thing over there. Now she's trying to pull it back together. For the record, I'm Dr. You know, watch how she's composing herself here too. But look at all these are clues back here. All these are clues. Look here. She got the flowers up in there, it's all in her jacket. Yeah, it's her shrine room up in here. You see those flowers on the wall there? Look at her jacket, right? So this Miss Mary, she probably red is her favorite color, and she loves flowers. Here we go.
Edwards, and I am not the wicked grandmother of the West. I am the grandmother of Darrell Edward Brooks Jr. And I asked to be here today for two reasons. First of all, from the bottom of my heart, I want to offer my...
I already said that. Y'all hear that offer. And you see how she's gathering herself. You can tell that she's already not even thinking about anybody except for Miss Mary. That's why her name is way back here. She ain't call out nobody other name, none of the victims, none of that stuff. Just Miss Mary. She's making sure that y'all got this straight about her, Miss Mary.
Sincere apologies to those who have been hurt so badly by what has happened here, this tragedy that has been caused by my grandson.
Mm-hmm.
I want to also apologize to the family of the little boy. I understand their name is Sparks.
Wow. Like she's talking about some preschooler or a child or something like that. And when you know, that just, listen, I can't even, let me go back a little bit so I can hear how, listen to the voice, how she's saying it. You know what I mean? Like you can, there's no compassion in there. It sounds very, you know, it's beneath me, but here's the thing, like, you know, it's, listen to it.
Also apologize to the family of the little boy. I understand their name is Sparks. And
y'all see that face? You kind of like smirked under there. That's sad.
to all of those whose lives have been damaged by this overwhelming tragedy.
Look at his face. Look at him. He's thinking grandma is killing him now. Yeah, grandma is doing the thing. Look at there. See that? Trying to look sad. It's all fake, you know, face looking out. He looks like a 3-year-old who's thrown a tantrum, and the mother's is going, oh, he's fine. He's just sleepy. He's tired. He, you know, just give him some time to rest.
As a minister of the gospel of Jesus Christ, I want to give the family and those who've been hurt so badly the scripture, blessed are those who mourn, for they shall be comforted. And I say this,
look at in the background. I never saw this go. That's the prosecutor, right?
Sincerely and humbly apologize and ask all of you and God for forgiveness.
And ask all of you, like she's reading to 3-year-olds. Y'all hear this voice? Y'all don't feel like she's talking down to you? It's just, to me, this sounds...
Forgiveness for this
what's my word?
horrible, terrible deed. Some of you have said that you will never forgive him. Please do not be like the man who drank the poison and hoped his enemy would die.
Now, see that? Did you hear the voice? Y'all probably thinking I'm just really tripping on little baby stuff. But how she said it, poison, very deep. And now she's going to look up to send the curses out to you. This here is a curse, right? Please don't, you know what I mean? This is a serious curse. Like she's saying, if you're going to have if you don't forgive my grandson, I hope you don't die from from something, thinking that you making something bad for him. I hope it come back to you. She's pretty much sending the curses at you if you have any type of something in your heart, regardless of this. This here is very eye-opening here. Like y'all heard what she just said. Now watch. You're gonna look up to really drill in her point.
Forgiveness is a terrible disease, just like mental illness is.
So you're not gonna be no better than Darrell if you can't forgive, because unforgiveness is just shame on you all for if you can't forgive.
Truly, there have been many losses because of this tragedy. Darrell's mother has lost this.
Wow. Okay. So that was my other thing there, right? So she says there's been many losses during this tragedy. Not one time to mention any of the victims' names or anything like that. Narcissists will turn it right back around to them. Right? Now she's going on what Darrell has lost. Darrell's lost this. Darrell's lost that. What they have lost, his mother, his children, all these people that he's hurt in the past. Like, they should be saying good riddance, grateful now. We can all be safe. We can all have some peace. But it just shows that these narcs, that's what they do. You know what I mean? So she's probably laughing on the inside that look what her grandson did. These narcs like creating these big commotions and stuff and then sit back and watch, and let other people do things, They create these situations so people can explode and then boom, sit back and go, well, he did it, we'll see. But, so I just wanted to come back out and keep talking about this because there's so many excellent gems in here that we can learn from just watching this, how, we have an opportunity to see it now because what he did was so horrific and it affected so many people because it spilled outside of their own little domestic situation, their own little family situation. So what I'm saying is that if you got somebody in your family that's doing something like this, we need to really start not protecting these abusers, start calling them out so we can get them the help they need so they can be off in the places where they need to be. Because if you not making yourself available for them to victimize, then they're going to be out of business. They're going to look for new victims, and then the more we make more and more people aware, they won't be able to get new victims because more people will be aware of these different tactics that they do to try to capture, when they throw the net out there to try to see how many people they could capture in it and stuff like that. So by being aware and talking about it, beforehand, it's a great way to be able to kind of decrease the amount of these little abusive relationships, these domestic violent relationships, because we see how a lot of them end in somebody being unalive. Usually it'd be the victim, but we see here if the abuser isn't able to get access to the intended victim, they'll go pick another victim. We got, I'm sure y'all have heard of different, get out of here. There's a little gnat flying around, but of people that were like serial, check people out type stuff, where they, had problems with their mother or something like that. So they were going around unaliving women because they hated their mother or something like that. These abusers, excuse me, I clear my throat. Excuse me. These abusers will, if they can't get to the intended victim, they'll just grab somebody, somebody else. The same reason why I believe Darrell Brooks drove the car off into the parade goers, because he was already trying to chase her down. He had already, hit her, but he probably didn't feel fulfilled in the amount of abuse he had intended for her. So he raged even more, and that's why it's important that we do these things, so we don't open up the door for more and more people to, get abused. So we do these type of things and make more people aware of it, so we could, put the focus on them, and we'll be able to help people by identifying, so other people don't have to fall off into the trap and learn the hard way, because they're very good at charming people. So it's most of the time it's not the fault. Well, I'm going to say it's not really the fault of the new victim, because a lot of times when people aren't aware how these things work, then they will fall prey to it. All right, excuse me a minute, y'all. Are you? Oops, my bad. All right, so basically those are the facts, and I have done all the little things that I want to do. My goodness, it is starting to turn into a comedy here. So I'm going to wrap it up. I just wanted to come back on and hit it because I was excited that people were really liking this kind of stuff. Hold on, y'all. That's what I was trying to avoid. I was to be right back. All right. Thank you guys for for sticking with me. But anyway, I had to check on something there. But it's all to the good. And since I'm still here, let me see what's going on. I could now I'm just gonna wrap it up. Like I said, I'm just starting out here, and I'm just excited. Y'all do expect to hear from me on a daily basis. I'm excited that more and more people is really starting to speak out, because like I said, we've been holding these dirty secrets, for years, for many years, and that it's time for us to start healing. And the only way to heal, got to identify that there's a wound and there's something that needs healing, and you move forward from that, that forward. So thank you guys so much, especially to my new subscribers and the people that have been leaving these wonderful, encouraging comments, and they've really just been encouraging me to continue to have this voice and to have a safe space for us to share and talk about everything here. So tune in, and I will see y'all tomorrow in another video. And love y'all, and be good to yourselves. Put your mask on first before you help somebody else.